The John Wick franchise showcases one man's ultimate revenge tour, packed with bone-breaking fights and a kill count reaching far beyond 300. It's no wonder they call him the Boogeyman.
Welcome to Brawling Action and Anime.
There are countless fights over the course of these films, so let's rank the absolute best. Here are our top 10 John Wick fight scenes, plus some honorable mentions.
But now, yeah, I'm thinking I'm back.
And number 1 on our list is none other than Chapter 3's opening pursuit, when Wick finds himself in the absolute perfect location for an assassin showdown, a weapons museum. What follows can only be described as an insane knife and axe throw-off, with blades flying across the room and Wick's enemies ending up dead. When you think of shootouts in action movies, it's usually well lit with lots of color so you know what you're looking at. Well, not this one. The chase after Gianna's death leads Wick into the tunnels under a party. It's one of the series' most distinctive sequences, as the dimly lit passages create a sense of disorientation and claustrophobia. Only the blaze of gunfire reveals Wick's adversaries among the darkness. There's more humor in Chapter 3 than in the previous films, and this fight is both hyper-violent and very amusing. It takes place during the climactic Continental Siege and sees Wick take on 2 incredible blade-wielding killers, some familiar faces for fans of the raid. It turns out that these killers are also massive John Wick fans, who are excited to fight the legendary contract killer and tell him how much they love his work before attempting to slice him up. Unusually, the fight ends with Wick leaving them just about alive, suggesting that we might see these 2 superfans again.
Zombie Tuba.
In one of the flashiest scenes from the trilogy, John Wick tracks down Yusuf in the Red Circle nightclub, where he finds him relaxing in a hot tub. Wick quietly kills his bodyguards before a shootout in the pool room takes place and Yusuf takes off in his bathing suit. It's one of those hyper-stylized, beautifully lit action scenes that the Wick movies specialize in. Cassian is one of the deadliest enemies that Wick has had to fight, every bit as focused and relentless as our hero. Their showdown right outside the Continental in Rome is a savage, brutal one that starts with some degree of style but ends up with the pair of them rolling around on the ground. Things come to an end when they crash through the window of the hotel and share a drink at the bar.
I'll make it quick. I promise.
We've seen John on foot, in a car, on horseback, and towards the end of Parabellum, he gets to show off his motorcycle skills in this incredibly fast and exhilarating chase. But it's a John Wick movie, so this isn't your normal chase sequence. Zero and his men zoom after Wick, wielding swords, as they attempt to chop him to pieces before he can reach the Continental. They fail, of course, and Zero is the only one who gets there alive. The final showdown in Chapter 3 is between John and Zero, played by martial arts veteran Mark Dacascos, in the boardroom of the Continental. These 2 might both be in their mid-50s, but you would never know it from their skills on display. It's an intense, close combat fight that replaces the more artful choreography of some of the earlier action scenes for a brutal and exhausting payoff to the movie. When one of Sophia's German shepherds is shot by Barada, she goes full Wick and takes her high-octane revenge. This fight sequence is brilliantly executed, marked by long takes, incredible pacing, and masterful editing. Plus, Sophia's furry friends get in on the action, racing alongside her and tearing into the bad guys. The best moment? When one of them uses Sophia as a springboard to take out an assassin on the roof.
Push out!
Cassian tails Wick into the New York subway, where the pair shoot at each other with silencers. Even during rush hour, these assassins do a good job of not being noticed. It takes nearly 30 minutes before the first movie delivers its initial action scene, building up the legend of John Wick without ever seeing these formidable skills. But as Vigo's men descend on John's house, we get to see the Boogeyman in action. With just a handgun and a torch, Wick moves through the darkened house with ruthless efficiency, taking out a dozen Russian killers in a matter of minutes. And now on to our top 10. Let's start at the fancy New York Museum high table party that is interrupted by Wick, who has Santino in his crosshairs. But first, Wick has to get through dozens of Santino's men. It's spectacular and bloody. Director Chad Stahelski uses long takes and intricate choreography to heighten the thrills. And the juxtaposition of classical music and bloody, bullet-ridden ancient statues is a striking one. This one is pretty short and simple. Book to mouth and you're done. Those are our choices for the absolute best fight scenes from the John Wick franchise, but what do you think? Let us know in the comments below, and thank you for watching.